There were massive protests today in Kathmandu, right outside the Parliament building in Nepal. It was led by Gen Z youngsters who were out in huge numbers to defy the ban on social media platforms that was installed by the KP Oli government in Nepal. These youngsters were aghast that some of the most popular youth platforms like Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. were all being summarily banned by the Oli government in the name of upholding public morality. The police had to open fire. At least 19 protesters are said to be dead in the police firing. The toll could rise further. This shows yet again what a tinderbox India's neighborhood is turning out to be. We saw this in Bangladesh last year, the unprecedented protest that led to the ouster of the long-standing ruler there, Sheikh Hasina. She had to flee in exile to India. Earlier, we saw protests again in Sri Lanka, where young people took to the streets because of the economic crisis, because of runaway inflation, and now we're seeing this in Nepal. Is it time to probe if there is something larger, something bigger at play, if there is a conspiracy of sorts that is happening all around India's neighborhood in a bid to try and weaken India's periphery? And if there is, then who is at play here? Who is the one who is conspiring here to weaken India's neighborhood? But I want to first bring you up to speed with some of the defining moments of the protest today. I want to go across to our video wall. Gen Z Nepali protesters tried to enter the iconic Nepali Parliament building. They tried to storm the building amidst heavy security. You can see some parts of the building being set on fire too. Demonstrators gathered at the entrance of the Parliament complex. This was during a massive protest that was happening. There was a lot of issues. There's corruption, there is runaway inflation, joblessness, and of course the trigger was the government's decision to block several social media platforms, very popular ones including Instagram and WhatsApp. Then you have the unrest that was filmed. The police had to resort first to lathicharge, then tear gas, and eventually they had to fire at these individuals, fire at these Gen Z protesters, in which at least, and this is the latest count, it could go up further, at least 19 people are feared to be dead. This is in Kathmandu alone. Remember, there were protests in other cities as well. It was a step-by-step process. The police initially had to fire rubber bullets, then tear gas, and then eventually, once they saw that they were in no position to control the crowds, they had to fire live bullets against these young protesters. And as the protests spiraled out of hand, police fired water cannons, tear gas shells, and eventually live bullets in a bid to try and disperse the protesters.